Hey nerds, welcome to the book hole. How are you feeling about that intro? I've been doing it a few times and it's nice to have an intro. It is a little bit weird though. Stick with it for now. So you could just about see some books here. I'm going to go through them because this is going to be my summer TBR. Yes, I know we're bang in the middle of summer, but we've had crazy levels of heat here in the UK, and it made me sort of change my mind about what was going to come up next. Because I was really sure that Shadow of the Gods was going to be probably one of the next fantasy books I picked up. Partly because I've come off the back of reading all of Mistborn Era 1, and I wanted a fantasy that was under 500 pages, and I've been really looking forward to reading this. Then I realised it's like Viking fantasy, and the chances for some snowy scenes were high. I might be wrong, but the potential was there. And I kind of thought, well, we're going to hit like 37 degrees this week. Would it be weird to read about snow when it's it is the kind of weather that is going to kill me? So, I mean, whether that kills you, I think that's probably just appropriate in general fantasy, but heat specifically. So I changed my mind. This is now shifting back or shifting forward, and shifting back. And I'm probably going to read this as the weather starts to cool down a bit. And hopefully that works out, because then hopefully the second one will be out in paperback, so I can get a version that matches this one. So, what was the first thing I did? Yesterday, like I said, it did reach 37, which is insane. It is definitely the hottest temperature that we've had in this part of the country during my lifetime. I'm in my friggin' 30s. Okay. So for some reason, I'm in the mood for some Dune. This has been sitting on my shelf for a little bit, and the timing seemed right for starting book number 3 with Dune. As you see, I have made a little bit of a start, but not much. I'm only 29 pages in. And I'm kind of interested to see where things go after that. And I won't give away the ending for 2, but we're jumping ahead. We're seeing, I guess, the next line in the Atreides Paul family, and I'm interested to see where it goes. I've said it before, I was completely surprised by how much I enjoyed Dune, so I'm happy to keep reading. Next on the list, Ruth Ozeki, The Book of Form and Emptiness. I bought this when I was looking for books to put in between some fantasy stuff, sci-fi stuff. It is magical realism, I think, but it's also the winner of this year's Women's Fiction Prize. I've not read as many... In fact, I've not read any of the Women's Fiction long or short list yet. Which is weird because I did a whole video, added a bunch to my TBR, some sounded interesting. But the time gets away from you. But this one was on my TBR, and when it won, that kind of pushed it up the list. And I'm interested to see what happens. So I have another unexpected jump to the front of the queue. This is entirely because of Emmy Reads, because she's doing a read-along. And that is Gabriel Garcia Marquez's 100 Years of Solitude. Because of some of her previous videos, I've been intrigued by this. And there was also a TED channel video. It's not a TED Talk, it was like an animated video that said why you should read. And it actually went into what the book's about a bit more. I was like, oh, this sounds interesting. I just read the title and thought it was like someone spending 100 years on an island or something. I was like, oh, that's really interesting. So I've been intrigued to pick it up for a little bit, and when there's a read along that changes things and helps push it up the list. So I am interested to start. I don't know if I'll just start it alongside the other books I have going on at the moment, or if I'll wait. But yeah, this is probably like really high up the list. This is next to start. I will also be reading Monster, that's the manga, the first 2 volumes of the like perfect edition. I'm waiting on them. Hopefully they'll be here in a week or 2. Weirdly hard to get hold of. I think everyone's reading it right now for some reason. So look forward to that. Next one for the theme of hot weather is The Far Cry by Emma Smith. So as you can see from the grey cover, this is another Persephone book. Persephone books book. So this is about a woman in the 40s moving to India. So I did just watch that Miss Marvel episode about the partition, and I'm like, but do I have high hopes that an English writer is going to actually bother to cover that? And an English writer from the 40s. But you know, Persephone books, they pick some interesting, often feminist writers, so we'll see. And another one where I thought that hopefully the weather would make sense is Evan Winter, The Rage of Dragons. This is African-inspired fantasy. I know it's about a guy who goes through a lot of shit. I don't know if it's necessarily going to feature hot weather, but it's not likely to snow, is it? Oh well. It sounds like it'd be fitting. Yeah, this is in that same sale as Shadow of the Gods, so to me, there's a bunch of fantasy books that could take the same place as one another. I'm also interested because I know this was self-published originally, so always happy to see an indie author break through. Yes, some of us can make it. Yeah, this is probably going to be started later in the summer, probably next month. We'll see. But then again, we are like most of the way through July. What is time? And at the end of the list, we have The Future of Another Timeline by Annalee Newitz. This is going to be entirely dependent on mood. I'll read the description. In a world that's just a step away from our own, time travel is possible, but war is brewing. A secret group is trying to destroy women's rights. If they succeed, only a small elite will have the power to shape the past, present, and future. So yeah, I don't. It's like, I know it's about someone. It's clearly going to be about fighting for women's rights, but only because someone's fighting against them. So it has the potential to be kind of depressing for a bit, which is why I've kind of avoided it. I mean, its short length meant it was kind of perfect to fit in between other things, like recently, but I was not in a good place after having COVID, so I was not ready for the topic. But as long as my mood remains okay, yeah, this should be on the end of summer list, maybe heading towards autumn by that point. And in a similar spot on the list, I picked up Grace of Kings by Ken Liu. I mean, I will be running through my fantasy books by then. It's a tentative spot on the list. This could be swapped out for something else, but I'm holding it up now. I am intrigued. I heard it's very political, so we'll see how I get on with that. So there we have it, my summer TBR. I'm kind of averaging 4 books a month. None of these are really short though, so we will see. My estimation is that this will take me into like mid-September. Oh, I should probably do this, and then you can see other than the one that's facing the wrong way. But yeah, there we go. So that's the stack. Oh god, I can't hold it much longer. Well, thank you for joining me in planning out the next 2 months of reading. Yeah, I think 2 months of reading is about right. So thanks for sticking with me, and I will see you again in another video. Thanks for watching. Bye.